Welcome to week 2 of our Gomukhasana series, where we have 5 new things to do every day for the next week. Our first one focuses on the pelvis. It may be the most challenging one because it requires patience and attention to detail, but you can do it as many times a day as you like. So let's begin in Tadasana. Going to have your feet parallel underneath hip bones and then start walking in place. You'll do this for about 30 seconds and just relax as you're walking. Don't try to hold anything in, letting go, and then stop. Look down at your feet. You can see on me, my tendency is to turn my right foot out, and it's a little bit behind my left foot. My right hip rotates to the right, lifts up a little bit, rotates to the right. That turns my right foot out. So that's telling you what your pelvis is doing. So now come back to your Tadasana. This time, root down through the feet, first the balls of the feet, then the inner heels, then the balls of the pinky toes, and the outer heels. Use that energy you feel rising up to lift up through the front ribs and the back ribs, giving your space for your pelvis. And then take your pelvis, balance that out, draw the energy down from the pelvis into the feet. And once again, you're going to walk in place for about 30 seconds. And then come to a stop and see if you don't have a little bit more alignment or a lot. And you can do that throughout your day. Number 2 is the restorative shoulder opener, a little more intense than last week. So grab your 2 props, whatever they are. If they're blocks, they're going to be on level 1, the lowest level. And once you're lying on your back, they're going to look like so. One is going to be behind your head. The other one is going to be right in the middle of your shoulder blades. So you can see there's a space in between these two. That's where your neck is. If you only have one block and one blanket, that the blanket will go underneath your head instead. So place your blocks on your mat where you've kind of measured off, and you may need to move them once you get down. And then sit in front of your blocks with your legs extended out in front of you. So I did this little thing where I go, kind of lean back and go. Okay, it's around here, somewhere around there. Then, press down through your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Keep that as you lean back. And then you're going to lie down on your props. And you might go and adjust them as soon as you feel. You're not going to have this on your back. It should be on your literal shoulder blades. And then your head is here. Then roll your shoulders under. Palms face up. Arms externally rotate. If you're here and you immediately go, oh, my low back, that's number 1. You can bend your knees, lift your hips a little bit. You're doing a slight posterior tilt, not really, but putting a little bit less curve in the low back. And then straighten your legs again. If you notice that your head is pointing, if you notice that your chin is pointing up higher than your forehead, because your shoulders are so tight, you may find that you need to elevate your head a little bit so you can turn the block or put a blanket on top of the block. I'm going to stay here 10 to 15 minutes. to come out, bend both knees, and then roll onto your right side, staying here for several moments, giving your shoulders time to adjust before pressing yourself up. Number 3, we'll stretch the sides of the body, the spine, the shoulders, the armpits, and the belly. It also helps to create space in the chest and the lungs and can be used to improve digestion and also may help reduce anxiety and fatigue. Begin in a supine Hastasana. Turn your palms in towards each other and inhale your arms overhead alongside your ears. On your exhale, bring your arms back down by your side. Keep your spine in a neutral position the entire time. If your shoulders are tight, you may find yourself arching your back to get your arms up by your ears. Instead, take your low ribs, knit them together, and draw them down towards the earth to keep your spine in neutral as you reach your arms overhead. It's okay if they cannot reach all the way up alongside your ears. Work with your own range of motion. As you lift your arms, move your shoulder blades apart and around towards the front of the body and externally rotate your upper arms. Inner edges of the upper arms move down towards the floor and outer edges move up towards the ceiling. You're going to do 3 sets of 10 reps each. Number 4 is all about stretching the glutes, the hips, the low back, and the hamstrings, strengthening the thighs, and also may reduce low back pain and aid in digestion and calm the mind. Begin in a supine position, lying on your back with your knees bent and feet flat. Using your arms, draw your right knee into your chest. You can keep your left knee bent, or to intensify the stretch, straighten it along the floor. Hold here for at least 30 seconds. If you straightened your left leg, bend it once more. Foot on the ground, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And begin to bring your right knee away from your body, externally rotating that right leg. Stay here for at least 30 seconds. The next variations will begin to intensify this stretch, but if it is already intense for you, you can stay here the entire time until you become a little more flexible. If you're ready to intensify this stretch, lift your left foot off the ground. Reach your arms through to grab a hold of either the left shin or, if you can't reach, the left hamstring. The right arm is going to come to the inside of the left thigh and grab the leg, and the left hand is going to come around the outer left leg. If you find that your arms are shorter or you're rounding your shoulders, you can use a strap or something similar as an arm extension. Hold this position for at least 30 seconds. To intensify this stretch even more, first change your hand positions by bringing your left hand to the outside of your right ankle, and then scoop your right hand underneath that right leg as well to grab the outer right shin. Start drawing your lower leg, especially your foot towards your body and reaching your right outer leg or right knee away from your body. And if you want to intensify this even more, begin to straighten your left leg along the floor. Hold again for at least 30 seconds. Then you're going to do the same sequence on the other side. Once again, start with your knees bent, feet flat. And then draw your left knee into your chest, choosing to keep your right knee bent or intensifying the stretch by straightening the right leg along the ground. Hold this for at least 30 seconds. If you straighten the right leg, bend it once more, right foot on the ground, and cross your left ankle over your right thigh, externally rotating that leg to bring left knee further away from your body. Hold this position at least 30 seconds. If you're choosing to go deeper, then you would lift the right foot off of the ground. And again, draw your arms through to grab a hold of the front of the right shin or the right hamstring. The right hand is coming around to the shin from the outside of the leg, and the left hand is coming to the shin or hamstring from the inside of your right leg. Hold this position for at least 30 seconds. Finally, if you would like to intensify this stretch even more, bring both hands to the outside of your right shin by scooping them underneath. So just changing your hand position so that the right hand is outside the right shin towards the knee, and the left hand is outside the right shin on the outside of the ankle. Externally rotating that right leg, bringing that right foot closer towards your face. And if you want it even more intense, slowly start to straighten the left leg along the floor. Hold this position for at least 30 seconds. And then end this sequence by bringing both feet to the floor, knees bent, feet flat. And take a few breaths here. Number 5 has a multitude of benefits, but it can be deceptively challenging. You may find that you need a prop or two for this one to sit on. This asana is great for opening up the hips and the groin while strengthening and toning the abdominal muscles. It can also help relieve stress and tension you may be holding in on the body and calming the mind, promoting all-around relaxation. You may find that you need a couple of props underneath your hips. We'll find that out in a second. Start in Dandasana with your legs stretched out in front of you, low back muscles pulling up and in, low belly, hold in just enough to support you, pelvic floor engaged. Then bend both knees and bring them over to the right. So the left foot is going to come to the outside of the right foot, the right hip. Right foot is going to come into the sole of the left foot, like so. Then, if you're falling over to the left and cannot stay upright, take one of your props, whatever it is, and scooch it underneath you. Now, inhale, lengthen your spine, and if you have yourself sitting on a prop, bring your other prop behind you. And then as you exhale, right hand is going to come to the outside of the left thigh. Right arm's going to come behind you, and you're twisting to the left, keeping chest open. So things to look for here is, number one, keeping the spine in neutral, not letting yourself bend backwards, forwards, or to either side. And also, especially, the shoulders need to be open, and that right shoulder tends to want to roll forward. It makes you think you're twisting more when you're not. So roll that right shoulder blade on your back, turning from the heart and from the belly. Turn even more. Hold here for at least 30 seconds. Then we go to the other side. Inhale to untwist. Come back to center. Stretch your legs out in front of you once more. It gives you an opportunity to really engage all your core muscles. And then bend both knees. Swing them over to the left. Sole of right foot is going to find the left foot. Okay, we'll say that again. Bring the left foot into the sole of the right foot. And then decide whether, again, you need that prop. You might prop yourself up. What works for you. And you might find you just need a blanket. You don't need that much. Maybe you need a lot more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left hand outside of right thigh. Right hand comes behind you. And again, noticing that you're not arching the spine and you're not rolling that shoulder forward. You're not hunching shoulders upward or anything like that. Turning from belly and heart. And open, breathe. Holding here for at least 30 seconds. And then notice as you're doing these, where can you release some tension, like neck and jaw, so that you have more energy to do the twist. So this week, do these 5 things at least once a day, whatever time of day you like, and let me know in the comments below how it's working for you. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below. And remember to like this video. It's really important because it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Namaste.